I've wasted a day. I hate to sound melodramatic, but I can't help but think of that really old YouTube video with lots of Smarties, or was it jelly beans, where each singular sweet is used to represent a day of one's life as they gradually take them away, showing how fleeting life can be and so to use your beans wisely. I know that video was meant to inspire, but now it's seared into my brain like a ticking clock. Each working day spent thinking about creating instead of creating, that's some of a bean gone. Bleak. I really don't like jelly beans. I'm not sure if it's creative block or overwhelm, but lately I've been struggling to create in the way I really want to. I found myself on this sort of treadmill of social media, creating and consuming at a rate I can't quite keep up with. I long to create more of the stuff I can really sink my teeth into, where I can really connect through my ideas and creativity, and yet I find myself stuck on this same hamster wheel going round in circles. Sometimes I wonder if I've sort of fried my brain from short form content. I think of that saying, where attention goes, energy flows. And I think that's probably part of the problem. It's easy to get stuck in patterns or habits that no longer serve us, even if it's avoiding the things we know would be good for us. I listened to this podcast recently, and in it they said how the brain sees the things we avoid as a threat and the things you do habitually as safe, even if they aren't. I think the example they used was smoking. A smoker usually knows it's bad for them, but because they do it habitually every day, their brain is seeing it as okay and safe. And ultimately, their brain doesn't see it as a threat. And the more you put certain things off, the more your mind builds up a resistance to it. I'm sure you probably know that feeling. I know I do. I recently got back into running. Prior to this, I hadn't run since last year. I'd got out of the habit of working out, and so I was feeling so much resistance to it. I started off going for long walks, and then I started adding in runs. Now I'm fully back into the flow of running, and I really enjoy it. I know running isn't everyone's cup of tea, but that's just an example of where I was feeling that resistance and was able to push through. I think having that commitment to just consistently focus on moving, going for long walks until I was at a place where I felt comfortable to run, has served as a perfect reminder of what can happen when you move at your own pace and stay consistent. I never focused on an end result or how far I'd run, but just on the journey. And so far, that's kept me consistent. I'm not saying that running is the thing that I'll do forever, but in this season of my life, it's the form of movement I'm really enjoying, and I also love that it allows me to really get out of my head as well. And I think that's the thing. We need to allow ourselves to adapt and grow in our commitments. My commitment is to be active, but the way in which I show up in that over time is allowed to change. I think the same can be said for our creativity and the things we put out into the world. Of course, our creativity can ebb and flow, but our commitment to that practice can be consistent. It's funny, I poured a cup of tea earlier, and on the tab it said, "In a life of thoughts and feelings, commitment becomes your saving grace."